Hello. Hello. All right. So let's begin. Okay. So when we say maps, okay. So maps basically works on your latitude and longitude, right? But as in Google Maps, if you see, basically it works on latitude and longitude as well. Any map which works on latitude and longitude. So what are this? These are the coordinates. Okay. These are the coordinates. So when your latitude and longitude meet, we create a chord. That is CHORD chord, which you see in blue color. And whenever you apply in a Google, what happens when your destination it is showing in red color, right? Those are basically the chords from the starting journey to the destination where you want to reach it. The same way when you talk about maps and any BI tool, the mechanism behind it works on the x-axis and y-axis of your map view, right? The area where you're finding your view. Yes, a map, a globe map, or basically according to your data, specific country map or a particular location map, right? So how Tableau recognizes it? Tableau recognizes on the basis of your geographical fields. In this case, we have got like country, state, city, postal code, right? So these are all your geographical fields, right? To create an hierarchy, what we do, for example, I've got state over here. I'll just drag it to the country. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a hierarchy here. So let's say I'll name this as like location fields or geographical fields. All right. So what I'll do, I'll bring city at the bottom and then I've got postal code. So this becomes my whole hierarchy. So what is the first step we do is we drag the location details into detail field. What is this? Marks property. Yeah. Once you do that, if you see the automatically you'll find latitude and longitude generated. What does this generated means? So Tableau has got its inbuilt directory where it maps the location. Mapping. It is called as mapping. Okay. So according to this database, if you talk about, okay, this data has got different sheets where category is already filtered. If I remove this, what I find is I find all the countries of information, whatever the data I have with. Okay. Now it is showing related to your how many countries it is, how I can understand how many countries data I have. Any idea? Okay. If you see, these are called as chords, right? Now let's see why we have got only 9 here because we have applied a keeps only 9. Let's remove this. Once I remove this, what is going to happen? It is going to apply in across all the sheets. The data will be released across all the sheets. Now, when I come back to my sheet where I'm trying to create my map view, now here it go. So I've got 147 marks over here. I can recognize by here. So those are 147 marks. So what does it mean? Tableau has recognized my data sources where under the data source, I've got country, state, city, postal code. Right now it is in country. So there are 147 marks. Okay. Now to know the mechanism of this particular fields. Okay. As I said, Tableau generates its own latitude and longitude. Basically what it does, it maps it. How it maps it? With your particular names. Okay. As per your database, if you have got full names, a complete country name, so it will map it and finds the correct location to it. So it generates its latitude and longitude to that particular point. Right now I'm online. Yeah. So what is the benefit of being online is I can search any particular location where it takes the internet help. Through internet, I can browse, I can go to the particular any of this location according to this database. Okay. Now let's say if I place like we are in India. So 585 C 585101. What is the location it is talking about? If I say 1, see, automatically it maps and shows to India. Correct? Right? This is because it fetches the information online. It works on the same mechanism what Google uses. Okay. And that is where it helps us to go in a beneath of that depth of that particular data if you want to analyze it or showcase your information to a particular location. But again, the data should be available for that particular location. It can take you to that level and extent. Right? Right now, as we are online, depending upon your speed, it starts to load the information. Okay. Obviously, if you are online, it can work. But when you say extract, now only see, before I was, uh, removing the filter option from the data source filter. What happened? It was filtered to only 9 locations. So according to your data, whatever it is extracted, it will showcase only those particular information. As I removed the filter, so the whole data was of like 147 marks, which was like 147 countries, right? As I'm saying right now, 55101. Now in this case, I have got this map tab over here. Okay. In this map tab, I've got background maps. What are background maps? The view what you're able to see here right now, right? Background maps, when I say right now, it is in by default in light. When I say normal, what do you mean by normal? Normal here is where you'll find the land and water into the place. If I remove this 55101, normal view will be like here, you see the water and land, right? If I go with background maps, if I go with dark, if I want to showcase not with the dark, with the street information, let's say I want to create an information level of streets. Again, when I'll say 58101, what is this? This is the postal code or a pin code, what we call. When I click on it, see, now I'm able to view all my streets of Gulbarga. Why? I have chosen the map option background. So this is decided on the basis of scenario and the situation, what you want to showcase in the view. So you're going to go with that level. When you say streets, you are going in a granular level of a map, depth of it, right? When you say normal, just to showcase a portrait of your country level or a state level analysis. When you say streets, you are going under beneath the streets. And this is only possible when you are online. Got it? All right. Now coming back to the point, right now we have got 147 marks, which is good thing that our data is clean, where we don't have any countries with abbreviations, spelling mistakes, spelling errors, or short names. In that case, it will be more difficult Tableau to recognize those locations. Okay. In that case, Tableau would not recognize those locations. Like for example, let's say if I take one more data source, let's say if I go to the Excel, this time I'll bring my normal, that is sample superstore. I'll click on open. So I'm bringing the another data source. I'm creating the another view map on sample superstore. So the same process, I'll drag the order sheet here. I'll come back to the sheet 6. If it is already created with the global master data source, I'll create a new sheet, and this time I'm going to use sample superstore. This time when I'm going to drag the country. So let's say I've got country by region as a field name. When I drag it, you see I've got only one dot. Why? This data belongs to only United States. And that is the reason why I'm getting only United States. If you see there is one unknown, what does it means? It means Tableau is not able to map it or identify that location, right? If your data was correct and clear, then this chances would not occur as per the matching of your directory. If I click on unknown, if I click on, you see, I'll get a pop-up window where I can clean it, or where I can edit it, or where I can make Tableau to recognize what exactly that particular field belongs to, or that value of that country region belongs to. When I click on edit location, you see, so what it says, unrecognized, it is saying as United States. If I click it, you see what I've got. I've got United States, I've got United States minor outlying islands. If I click this, yes. No. Okay. Let's clear your doubt. Let's go back to the data source. So what is the thumb rule? whenever you create a view, you need to first go and check your data source, whether every fields are updated. There are no blank. Those are like null values. I'll right click. I'll just open it. All right. Now let's check about this data. Shift space bar, control F. Let's go for country field. Okay, here it is. Now here you see I've got some blanks. Yes, that would be one of the reason where it would not recognize. See, what does it means? We have got only here order date again, which is wrong. In that case, I can delete this. And in this case, you see the pasting error. As I say, right, your data should be clean and clear. Correct? So what I have to do? So the one who was practicing on this PC has pasted in a wrong cells. Now it should be on a correct cell. See? Okay. Now before Tableau, let's have some fun game here. So which is the formula which is going to help me to, let's say ship date is what? Commitment date, where it has to deliver. According to this database, what is ship date? I'm asking the definition, not the exact date right now here. That's what. Deliver date is commitment. What you are going to commit it, right? You are going to deliver that thing. Correct. Right. If I have to reduce this date by 5 days, which is the formula going to help me in the date function? That column -5. Okay, let's see. Right? This is the normal way where you can do it. Okay. If I apply this everything for 5, so I would get multiple days. Just let's take this as random dates. Okay. I'll save this. Now again, I'll come back. I'll check with my country field. I'll check here. So everything is United States. I'll save this. Close this. What I need to do, come back here again and need to refresh. So what are the different multiple ways to refresh your file? What are the multiple ways? What are the multiple ways to refresh the workbook, the sheet or data source? What is the shortcut key? What is the shortcut key? F5. Perfect. If you go to the data, you see here it is mentioned as F5. See this? Click on this refresh. It is asking whether you want hidden fields to be showcased or replacing important data. Yes. Because I have cleaned my data and I want this to be get updated. Now it is preparing data in the backend. You see there is no errors now. Clear? Now the data is only of United States with me. Yes. Now I'll come back to the data and let's, hamper the data now. Let's do something where it will not start to recognize. Let's say, okay, before that, let me show you the granular view, then we'll do that, experiment it. Now, what is the next field I have to take? City or postal code? Exactly. We are going to take state. As we are going into a hierarchy model, just follow it so that you'll get the exact results to it. Yes. Instead of state, what happens if I take directly city? See, it shows 353 unknown. Instead of that, if I go with state first, then if I go with city, are you finding any error now? So follow the steps. Yes, follow in a proper systematic way where you can get your complete details. Why this happens? Because if you don't follow the hierarchy, it is not able to exactly recognize because there would be some duplicate names. Duplicate in the sense, New York would be state or New York would be city. If you talk about Solapur, there are 2 Solapurs. How Tableau should recognize it belongs to which state? Yeah, there are many countries or states which are same name. In that case, your hierarchy will help him to understand what are the states, because every Excel file, every record has got a complete information here. If you are seeing this record for this example, this complete record belongs to one particular student. Here it belongs to one particular student. The same way, that database, if I talk about, that belongs to one particular state, country, region, customer ID, customer details, shipping ID, order date. So one particular record will give the complete information of that particular transaction. Make sense? Right? So here we are able to see country, state, and city. Right now, if you see the format, again, it is light. If you convert into normal, you'll see water and land. Right? Now, if I go with again, if I want to go in detail, I'll go with streets. Right? You see. Now, when I bring the postal code, the last granular field of map, now, if I type any pin code related to United States, it will take me to that particular journey. Okay. So this is what, this is the inbuilt map what we have. This is by default map what we have, right? In the further point, we are going to see how can bring our own maps, right? These are the generated on latitude and longitude by default and by the Tableau itself, correct? So what all options we have is when you go to the map, when you say background images, you see here on which data source you want to make use of map, you can choose it. Okay. Now, if I say edit locations, when I click on edit locations, now you'll come to know how it maps it. Okay. See this. This is matching location. This is your data as per your Excel database. And this is the names, what it has got in its inbuilt directory. Here you see all are matching with its names. That's why it is showing on a proper and a correct place of its latitude and longitude on your maps. All right. Now let's see what happens if you have got improper data with you. Okay. Where let's say you have got country abbreviations to it. And there are some of your data where it is not complete with the location information. Let's say I'll go to the state. So I'll choose any state. Let's say California. Now I've got a records of California of how much? 1,997 records. Okay. In out of 2,000 records, let's say I'll go to K1000. So here I am. Okay. So I'm selecting how much now? 183 records. I'll delete. I'll make California CL or CF. Let's say CL. Yes. If I copy this and I paste it here, right? Why I'm doing this? Just consider this as an error, or just consider some of the records are updated as a form of abbreviations, not with the complete name. I'll click on save. Close it. What was the shortcut key again to refresh? F5. So there are multiple ways. Right click here, refresh it. Press F5, you can refresh it. Go to the data and refresh it. Okay. Multiple ways to do it. Come back. Now, if it gets updated, see 35 unknown. When I click on this, edit location, see unrecognized. What? CL. In this case, what we can do? Just click on mapping location and type California. You see, inbuilt directory has got this option. When I click on this, when I click on OK, so it will point out exact to the California point. Let's see. Got it? Right? So whenever Tableau is not able to recognize, just edit the location and check. If it is available in the directory, it's well and good. What if not? What if not? In that case, what you can do is go back. Okay. Go back here. Type California. And here, instead of California, type latitude and longitude of California. And update this. 36.77 is the latitude of California. And the longitude is -1794. When you update this, where? Let's see. Okay, I'll do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. This is before refresh now. 35 unknown, edit location. If the location is not available, what we are going to do? We are going to provide latitude and longitude to that particular location. Okay. Now, if it is unrecognized, what is another way to do it? Okay. Let's revise a previous topic. Where I can find or where I can merge CL and California. Hello. Muka to bahu. Nidhi madletu. Which group? Correct है? Group में क्या करते हैं अपन? What does the grouping do? Sorry, today's topic is maps. As we are going back just with the grouping part, because due to this scenario, we would require grouping here. Let's say we have got states. See here, CL. And California also here. Are you able to find what is happening? Tableau is recognizing this as two different states. Actually, it is one. So how you do it in grouping? What we call it as like concatenate, where you are merging both the number of records of California and CL. Don't see this way blank. डर लगता है California plus CL को click करो, group करो, एक हो गया. हो गया? Right click, edit allies, हटा दो, California बोल दो, काम खत्म. अब जब मैं, when I'm going to drag this state, I'll remove the state, this state, city, postal code. Let's go again. All right. Now this time I'll drag the state group. See what happened? 50 unknown. Why? Is it working this as a state, as a geographical field or not? Yes or no? We have to refresh it. Perfect. Why? If we would have not refreshed, how would I would have get this this thing? Why to refresh? You have created a grouping in Tableau itself, right? Not into the Excel to refresh. Okay, just for your thought, let's refresh. But in still data, if you refresh also, you are making edit in Tableau. It doesn't make sense in like it make changes in Excel. Okay. So if you click here and check the data type. Yes. If I go with the default properties, there you see. If I go with the state, if I go with default properties, yes. If I ask to describe, so it is considering as a geographical role as state. If I go with this, I ask them to describe geographical role state, valid, domain 20 of 49 members. So what does it means? Domain 20 of 49 members. 49 are your total states in your database. When I click this and check, so there are still 50 unknown records. For this, again, what we need to do? See here. Enter your latitude and longitude. If you don't find the names, what you can do? You can directly provide the latitude and longitude of that particular location. Clear? Got it? See, but I have it. Why to apply the this thing? So I'll just apply this. Click on it. If I refresh it. Now, when I once make Tableau to recognize this as a California as what? A state. CL is nothing but your California. Now I can easily use it. No need of using my clear. All right. Now this is how you're going to edit your locations. In most of the databases, what happens when you have your own postal codes, when you don't have that particular location details recognized by Tableau, what do you use? You need to use latitude and longitude. All right. Now, if you see here, if I bring the state group, it is showing California and but if I bring original field, now in database, no doubt we have changed it. You see this. CL also California. Correct? So what is the thumb rule? Whenever you are going to create a map, you need to drag your parental field first into your details. So that automatically you have got your latitude and longitude generated. It automatically gets placed into columns and rows. So it plays as an x-axis and y-axis on your view of your map. Your latitude and longitude plays a role of x-axis and y-axis, where it plots on this particular table, right, of the view, and then it creates a plot or a map in a form of map, right? Now, if you see here also, we have got maps. Now, let's see how map reacts when you drag more fields. Apart from your geographical fields, when you try to bring in different measures into it, right? Or different types of dimensions into it. Okay. Now we'll go back, we'll create the view. See, when I double click it, directly it drags into detail. I have not dragged it. When you double click, then also it is going into detail. When I double click on state, see, when I double click on city, right? Same way. If I drag outside, okay. All right. Now let's say when I've got discount, when I've got profit, when I've got quantity, when I've got sales here. Yes. Now what is happening over here is if I drag the sales, do I need to drag it in size or a color? Size. Perfect. So according to the size of the chord, we'll able to understand how much more the sales is or less the sales is with smaller size. Same, I'll go with profit. Once I'm dragging one more measure into the color, right now the view, what you are able to view is, this is called as symbol map. This is when you click on show me, you see this is symbol map. This is your field map. This is called as field map. This is symbol right now. This is field. When you get this field map, when you're dragging something into color, let's say if I drag my profit into color, it is filling. Is it filling? It is filling with the chords. If I remove the sales and bring only profits, see. This is by default your field map. When you have got one measure to showcase into the color, so it is filling within the borders of the states. Clear? All right. So again, if I bring the sales, automatically it changes in the form of symbolic map. Got it? Now, when let's say if I bring the dimension into category into color, now what happens? Category has got three values: furniture, office supply, technology. In one circle view, how you are going to showcase all the three? It's not possible. What you'll do? Go to the automatic, choose pie. Yes. Now, when you say this pie, when I click on size, raise the size of your pies. Okay. Now you are easily able to view your circle into pie chart. Right? Now it is defining your pie. Clear? So whenever you are bringing any dimension into a color, and if you are bringing in a circle, until unless it is a pie, it is not going to help you. Because your whole contribution of your sales on the respective category, you need to break down into its contribution. And that is only possible when you use the pie chart. And again, it makes sense only if you have got 2 to 3 values in that particular field of category. Like you see, In category, we have got only 3. What if instead of category, if I make subcategory, it does not make any sense. So it will be a 17 parts of it. Again, it will be much more difficult to the end user to recognize according to the its colors, right? So you need to choose this view specifically and wisely what exactly to be used at what point of time, right? Which field you are dragging where and what. Okay, clear? Makes sense? So what we came to know, if you are creating a field map, it is possible when you have got one measure to showcase into the color. When you have got multiple measures or multiple dimensions, then you need to change it in terms of your marks properties to highlight and showcase. That is where your marks card plays a vital role in maps. Do you think I have dragged any till now? Did I drag anything in columns and rows? No. See what happens if I drag it. It breaks all your latitude and longitude view over here. And that does not make sense to show the, because end of the day, these are all numbers. And latitude and longitude to meet as a map, as a coordinate, we would require only latitude and longitude to play in an X and Y role. Make sense? Clear? Right? Perfect. So we have seen how to edit it. If it is not recognizing, the better way is to provide latitude and longitude for that particular location. Because as it is online, exactly it will fetch the exact latitude and longitude on your map view. Clear? Done? Will you practice till here? Now only you practice to then once it is done, if it by it is now 6:28, by 7 you practice it, and then we'll go for the how to use our own maps or own images as maps.